say there's no typical business. We cover the full gamut.
But Jamaica National is the place to be.
Definitely, and we'll always help you to find a way.
No, the pandemic, Kimberly, was devastating to say the least, and of course our small business operators, they were immensely impacted. The Prime Minister, the government has been saying that the economy has recovered and is now back to pre-pandemic levels. But what sort of support did you coin during that time to assist small business operators?
As we know, that was a very, very difficult period, especially for smaller business operators. One of the things we found is that during that time, they needed options as to how they could pivot. And so at that time, what we were able to do is to offer them that support in pivoting. What we found is that through our webinars, we were able to connect with our customers. As you can remember, we were not able to be speaking face to face. So a lot of our interaction had to do over those webinars. We were able to keep in contact with our customers via WhatsApp. Again, that specific group of customers require constant touch base, because any small changes in the economy, in the environment, can of course impact those smaller business operators. And so during the pandemic, what we found was keeping in contact with them through our webinars, getting the experts to give them options in terms of even what the government was offering as a support. Remember those grants as they were made available. We were able to share with them the opportunities that are available, help them to prepare to be able to access some of those grants that the government was making available. But more importantly was keeping connected with them through the telephone calls, through the WhatsApp, and through those client webinars that we hosted.
And just before we go, Kimberly, just in case there is an entrepreneur out there who is trying to find assistance, financial assistance, or any other assistance, how can they get in touch with Jamaica National?
Our numbers are everywhere, but today and for the weekend, we're actually asking them, come by our booth, scan our barcode. They will have that opportunity to win $10,000 each day. And really just reach out to us. We are a very family-oriented, friendly group. So they can visit us online, jnbank.com, get our contact numbers. They're able to click our callback options. And also when they do scan our barcode today, they're able to leave their name, contact number, their product of interest, and we will have our experts reaching out to them to give them the steps to move forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was Kimberly Gardner, and she is the Jamaica National Group Marketing Relations Officer. Please stay with us. You're watching CEEN TV's coverage of Expo Jamaica 2023. TV's coverage of Expo Jamaica 2023. We're coming to you live from the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica. Now I am speaking with Shane Angus, and he is the interim VP of Exports at Jamaica Promotions Corporation, and that's JAMPRO.
JAMPRO, yes, JAMPRO. We're the government agency fully responsible for promoting investment in the country, as well as help our companies export into international markets.
Now, Mr. Angus, JAMPRO is partnering with the Jamaica Manufacturers Exporters Association to put on this extravagant trade and exhibition show. Tell us, what are some of the things that go into planning this event?
All right, so this event has two folds, right? You have the buyers and you have the sellers. Now, GMEA is responsible for putting the buyers here. JAMPRO, on the other hand, is responsible for bringing in the buyers. So far, we have brought in 660 buyers, 40% of which are international and the others are local. And they're from 30 countries. USA being the biggest market as usual, then you have Canada, UK, Cayman Islands, but we are seeing people as far as Oman, India, coming here to this exhibition. So it's an international, really international event. So JAMPRO role is to bring the buyers here.
Now, what is the desired outcome from a show of this nature?
So there's two things we're looking at, right? One, our aim is to grow exports. As it stands right now, by putting on a show like this, we're hoping that the international international buyers, we'll partner with a lot of our local suppliers, and we see our export growing. What else we're looking for is to grow business relations locally, and that's called linkages. So we're hoping that more local companies will start to meet and buy from more local companies, increasing the linkages. So we're promoting trade locally as well as promoting export.
No, it's always something we hear on the news. It's always something we read about. The encouragement, produce more so we can export more. How critical is that to the economy?
Oh, it's key. It's very key for us to really evolve. Our minister is always talking about we have to grow our exports in order for us to evolve as a country, and that's key. That's key. I mean, we have to actually get buyers from around the world to look at our products, help us to manufacture more. Some of our products are not really consumed locally by a lot of us. So I mean, we expect international persons to buy these products. So it is important to grow our GDP. We have to grow exports, and that will also reduce the deficit as well, our trade deficit, which has really hampered us for years.
Talk to us about business startup. I know Jampro probably is not involved at the grassroots level. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what sort of support do you provide to businesses?
So there are many supports we do. I mean, we do business matchmaking, market penetration, information, facilitation of all companies coming in, also our local companies, so quite a bit of stuff. But I must mention one of the key things we're looking at is we have programs in-house, and one in particular is called Export Max, where we'll identify companies that has the potential to export, and we put them through a program, an 18 months program, after which we'll have them in a better position for them to understand market, understand how to capitalize themselves, and then be better prepared to actually export. And this program are a very expensive program. They are funded fully by Jampro and the sponsors that we have.
Now, earlier you told me that about 600 buyers are here, and so far by my research it seems as if the buyers this year around has exceeded previous years.
Yes, last year we had 540 something, and now we're at 660. So yeah, we have exceeded it, and we're expecting that. Listen, I mean, that was up to last night, and I'm sure some came in this morning, so we had the opportunity for a person to walk in as well. So yeah, we have exceeded the targets. It's a quite successful event.
Now, when this expo is finished and we go until April 30, that's on Sunday, how do we ensure that the objectives are met and the linkages that were established are maintained?
All right, so what we have here, these first 2 days are what you call a buyers meeting. So the buyers are meeting with the sellers. Our team, a Jampro team, is actually at the booth, and they're actually recording these meetings. So we have the sellers make note of what's happening. At the end of this next week, we collect that data, and our team internally will now actually follow up on these conversations. Sometimes our sellers don't have the resources to follow the conversations, but we do. So we'll follow these conversations just to ensure that at least we get a yes or no, are you buying or not? Should we, and we'll continue growing those. We'll talk to the sellers, did you experience anything with this buyer? We'll talk to the buyer and say, did you get what you want? They said, no, that particular company won't work. Then we'll introduce them to someone else. So we keep this link going, just keep it going. So it's very important that we fill out those forms and then follow up after that.
And of course, Brand Jamaica is the brand you want to invest in.
Oh yes, Brand Jamaica all the way. I mean, all those listening abroad, it's time to invest back in the country. As small as it is, it can help, and there are many opportunities for persons looking in.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. This is Mr. Shane Angus, and he is the interim VP Exports at Jampro. So stay with us. We are at the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica. We are bringing you highlights of Expo Jamaica 2023. We're coming to you live from the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica, and I've caught up with a familiar face, a former senator, but now in his more substantive post, he is the Managing Director and CEO of Mavis Bank Coffee Factory Limited. Welcome to CEEN TV. Should I still say Senator Grant?
Yes, why not, Miss Thomas? Great, and can I welcome you to Expo and welcome you to the Jablum booth. Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, producer of Jablum, the coffee experience beyond compare. This event is very special for us because this year Mavis Bank Coffee Factory celebrate our 100-year anniversary. We were formed in 1923. We buy and process coffee from 3,500 farms farmers that grows this coffee in the Blue Mountains and across 3 parishes, Portland, St. Thomas and St. Andrew. We export to 3 primary markets, Japan 70%, the USA 20%, Europe and the rest of the world 10%. And we produce the best Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee under the Jablum brand. This is Jablum Gold, Jablum Classic. We also process and produce Wallingford, and we sell our coffee locally in the supermarkets, in the inbound shops in Oteros, Montego Bay and Negril. We export our roasted coffee. We have it available on e-commerce, and we support in a substantial way the families of our 3,500 to 4,000 farmers, our staff, our shareholder, the Honorable Michael Leach, and our board, and all our stakeholders that makes this excellent experience. We want to say thanks to them for their continued support. This year, the 100th anniversary is a bus out here. We're going to be repositioning our brand, we're repositioning our product, we're going to be reaching out to our 3,500 farmers. You know, with my cap on as president of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, we have presented a plan to the minister to invest $1 billion Jamaican dollars in the expansion of the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee brand. 200 million each year to support the 5,000 coffee farmers with fertilizer, seeds, chemicals and training to move our current production from the 30 boxes per acre to 70 and 90 boxes per acre. What that will do for Jamaica, it will increase our production from the current 240,000 boxes to 450,000 boxes in 3 to 5 years. But listen to these numbers. It will increase our export earnings from 17 to 25 million in 2 years. This injection will bring about an incremental growth of 5% each year over 10 years, and at the end of 10 years the earnings generated from coffee would be $100 million.
So we're talking about that
changing.
We're talking about trickle-down effect for our local farmers.
Not only that, but for the farm families. You know, 125,000 farm families in rural communities, the shopkeepers, the churches, the schools. Let me tell you something. Coffee can transform agriculture, and agriculture will transform Jamaica into a developed country. And I'm very excited that Jablum Mavis Bank is here to be a part of that exotic story, Jablum the coffee experience.
No, Mr. Grant, if you could just take down probably 2 of the most sought after packaging that you export, and just to show our viewers.
This is Jablum Classic, 100% Jamaica Blue Mountain. This is Jablum Gold, 100% Jamaica Blue Mountain, and this is like platinum on top of the best selection of the best beans that gives you a sophisticated taste, balance, sweet. The aroma is exquisite, and it leaves you with an aftertaste that said, hey, you just had the best coffee in the world. And listen, Jablum makes you smile.
I guess that's why you are the managing director and CEO.
Yeah, but also I want to say we also export the green coffee in barrels, and this is to our primary importers in Japan. This year we're celebrating the 70th anniversary of the first shipment of coffee leaving Jamaica from Mavis Bank Coffee Factory to Japan. So it is our 100-year anniversary. The company was started in 1923, but it is also the 70th anniversary of the first shipment of coffee leaving the port of Kingston, destined for Tokyo, Japan, a market that now consumes 70% of the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee exported.
No, as we wrap up, Mr. Grant, tell us how important it is for us to produce locally and the impact that has on our export offerings.
production locally is very, very important, because the more you produce is the more you export. The more you export is the more income you generate in foreign exchange, and of course it will, ease the pressure on the dollar. The more you grow and increase your production, especially in the lowland, outside of the Blue Mountain, is the less you have to import other coffee to blend with Jamaica Blue Mountain for the blend product. So that's import substitution again. The more you produce locally is the more jobs you create. At Mavis Bank we employ about 200 to 300 workers. The 3,500 farmers that we buy coffee from employ at least 2 to 3. So you're talking about 10,000 people. So I'm saying that the multiplier effect is so great, and that is why I'd like the government to relook at reimposing the farmer exemption status to the agricultural industry and to the coffee farmers, so that when we buy tools for production, we get exemption from GCT. Our profits, once we are reinvesting that profit in the development of our communities and our workers and our people, we should get a tax exemption, because guess what? When we expand the business, then you collect more from GCT, from consumption, you create jobs. So the multiplier effect is just phenomenal. And I say that this expo, we're very happy to be a part of it. It is a welcome move. The Mavis Bank Coffee Factory is also a member of the JMEA, and we are very enthused about promoting Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, promoting the agriculture sector, because we believe that it is a lifeblood of the Jamaican economy, and it is that which can help to reduce crime, stabilize the economy, run those predal thieves out of town that continue to raid the fields of the farmers, and really just get production sustainable growing for the betterment of our economy and sustainable development all around, and make Jamaica the place
to do business,
to live, raise family, and do business.
Thank you so much for talking
and grow
with us.
coffee. Grow Jamaica Blue Mountain
Thank you
coffee.
so much for speaking with us.
You have a beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking with us. This is Mr. Norman Grant, a former senator, and he is also the managing director and CEO of Mavis Bank Coffee Factory Limited. You're watching CEEN TV's coverage of Expo Jamaica 2023 from the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica. Stay with us.
What do you want? Cold coffee or hot coffee?
I'll take the hot one. I'll take the hot one.